To make a transition now to something more serious, and I'm going to break down the fourth wall here. I've been working in television news for roughly 5 years, and the biggest blessing of all is the ability to come across some extraordinary individuals, and I've been fortunate enough to know this wonderful 12-year-old Cam Rehkow. Now, not only is Creme 2 working on a bigger story about Cam, but I'm advocating for you to be a part of his story. But before I get to the how, let's talk about the why. 10 months ago to this day, I went to the Rehkow household to speak with Cam about an afternoon in April of 2016, a day that changed his life.
We finally got back to see the doctors after about an hour of sitting, and that's when he showed us the x-rays and told me that I had leukemia, and that was probably the worst moment of my life.
Cam would now have to fight for his life going through chemo, and it was from that point forward that Cam and his family would need help. And there were GoFundMe pages, as well as plenty of others sending money or videos of support. But Cam's father, Freddie, is the head coach of the Central Valley girls basketball team. And these high school girls might not have realized the role they played during Cam's chemo treatment, but they stepped up in a huge way. Before every huddle at the beginning of the game, the girls would yell, "Bears for Cam," dedicating the season to him, as Cam would sit on the bench whenever he was feeling good enough to get out. CV made Cam not just a cheer, but an important part of the team, and that does wonders for a psyche. We often talk about the power of sports beyond wins and losses, and the girls basketball team is a great example of that.
Well, last year, if we're being upfront, those girls probably helped save his life. They gave him a passion and something to look forward to. Those relationships and those young ladies caring about him, that really helped pull him through some of his toughest times.
I'm happy to say Cam is in the maintenance part of his treatment. His battle isn't over quite yet, but the outlook is very good as he's back to school pretty much full time, and he's starting to slowly get into activities. And this is where I bring everything back full circle. Now that Cam is in the maintenance phase of his treatment, the family is giving back to the causes that helped them desperately during their darkest times. And Central Valley is hosting the Cam Jam Clash for Cancer, which is essentially hosting a mini state tournament in Spokane, bringing in schools that finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in Tacoma last year. It will be an 18 tournament spanning from December 28th to December 30th, and all the proceeds from this tournament will either be distributed to the Anna Schindler Foundation for Childhood Cancer or the CV Invest Ed to help students with need at Central Valley. Freddie and Cam are really excited to bring amazing teams into our backyard and also play for such a great cause.
We're hoping to get this place packed, get the word out to everybody to come support it. It's our way of giving back, and it's going to help the kids of this community. It's going to help the kids in Spokane.
Nobody ever knows who this could happen to or when it could happen, but just knowing to be aware of it and that there are a lot of people that are willing to help out with plenty of things.
I firmly believe in community. I firmly believe that we all can support one another and support a team that helped Cam through his chemo and so much more. And even if you can't go to the tournament like myself, who will be in San Diego for the Holiday Bowl, you can go online and donate like I did this afternoon. We'll have a story on creme.com with a link provided to do that. I've gotten to know the Rehkows very well over this past year as I've been tracking this story. Again, we are working on something much bigger for February and March when Central Valley ramps up another state tournament trip. But I talked with Freddie, and he said that Cam isn't a normal 12-year-old, and that is so true. The perspective he brings to life and the ability to overcome is just mind-blowing to me.
When we heard his father say it, the girls probably saved his life. That's incredible.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the girls team. I don't think they often realize how much of a role they played. You're kind of young and you're innocent and you don't really understand these things, and when something like this happens, it brings a lot more things into perspective, and you understand the kind of impact you can have on someone's life just by the smallest of details. So it's just such an important story, and one right in our backyard, which I thought was important to tell.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah, the power of people.
Absolutely.
We love that.
Yes.
Evan, we look forward to more too.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
A little tease for the future.